Test one, two. Hey folks, live. It's Wednesday, doing some Blender stuff today. Let's just dim the light a little bit. Knew there was something I was going to do. Yeah, a little bit more light than that. Yeah, that should do. There's a little bit of shadow going on. I think that's coming from my pop filter. Let's just bring this down. There you go. Better. Awesome. Right, hope everyone has been having a good week. Well, it's the best week you can, considering. Hey Lisa, you're good to see you. I sell emotes. Sell the best emotes. I do love that little pop-up I've made. Sell nudes. Hey Jeffrey. Hey Lisa, it's good to see you both. I'm not doing a pop-up animation for selling nudes. Sell emotes of Jeffrey's nudes. Why not pop up when I sell nudes? Want to nude me going up? Yeah, that might make some interesting TOS violations. Watching Fairy Tale, nice. I might have to think of a pop-up for the phrase "sell news." But I think "sell," the word "sell" seems to trigger that pop-up. Yeah, you could do the Holiday Elf album cover. Sell? No. What about I sell? Might be I sell. It should be I sell emotes. It's the actual trigger. So you never know these things. No. Okay. So it is actually working correctly then. It is I sell emotes. Yes. Cool. It's just that yep. It's just that the Restream bot reposts it, so of course it reads it twice. I'd love to prevent that kind of stuff. Well, I'll work it out eventually. It's not a major issue. Let's get a little bit of music. I always forget to get a bit of music going. Hip hop, maybe. Fancy. Go a bit of fancy, maybe. One of the cats we took care of for a while died today. And the weird thing, it's not the 21 one. Oh no. Oh, sorry to hear that. Too grindcore. 1-year-old got run over. Oh no, that's even worse. There's life taken way before its time. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Grindcore. Let's see. There's such a thing as lo-fi grindcore. I'm going to Google it for the fun of it. They asked us to come say goodbye to the body, but they want to. Yeah, that's hard. It's hard to say goodbye, sort of. There's noise lo-fi. Got lo-fi grunge. Lo-fi dark metal. That could be interesting. We'll go with that. It's only an hour 45, but we can switch it up. Lo-fi grindcore is like white snow. It's always recording lo-fi production values. Yeah. This is true, I suppose. I've got to switch over to Blender. I've been doing a little bit before the stream started. Cleaned up this animation a bit. It now looks smooth. Look how smooth it walks. The other thing is it doesn't quite loop, but I'm thinking anything that doesn't quite loop I can tidy up in Unity. Because I can import this into Unity and just do a little tidy up in there. So that won't be an issue. But I just want to kind of finish this animation. Because it needs to bob slightly. At the moment it looks like it's wading through water. So it just needs to kind of move up and down with let's move it out of the way in case it starts doing stuff. Yeah, so to complete this animation, body needs to move up and down. I think a slight sway could be useful as well. But if I'm honest, it's not got muscles. It hasn't necessarily got momentum with its body because all the rocks are held in place by magic. But then the quality of the animation will suffer if it's a bit too static. So you kind of have to have a little bit of movement. Maybe just the shoulders. Just moving the shoulders back and forth as it walks. Like normally as you walk you have a slight swing. So I could do that. I could make the shoulders kind of swing a little bit. So they swing opposite to the legs. So as that leg goes, was it sort of step? It's the opposite shoulder to that leg, isn't it? Yeah. So right shoulder with left leg. So as this left leg comes forward, then the left shoulder goes back. So I suppose it's kind of just moving these two bones up here. So if I select these two as well. When it gets to there, so 15. We want let's go from the top view. Today, people came by the door to collect money for a good cause, something with children with very bad illnesses. That in itself isn't bad. Yes. Yeah, it's understandable. But they did a little dance to convince me, which angered me so much, they just saw my eyes and fled. Oh wow. So what was it about the dance? Was it the fact they actually performed in front of you that just angered you? go 0.5. So that people that exaggerate and push to be funny. Yeah, that's fair. Next one will be 30. We only need some medical things today. Something removed from his teeth. And a regular yearly vaccine. Ooh, that must have been a bit traumatic for him. Is he okay with vets, or is he generally prefer not to be around them? He doesn't fear them. He does hate strange that touch him though. Yeah, that's fair. I'm kind of like that. I can sympathise with him. So he has to be knocked out with anaesthesia so they could get near him. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, Damien's been pretty good with all his medical stuff recently. So he lets the vet shave him because he's had the patch underneath his chin on his neck shaved so they can take blood easier. And he's had it shaved 3 times now, and every time he hasn't kicked up a fuss. He's had his blood taken. He's even had his temperature taken. So whether he's just too scared to do anything, or whether he's just like, if I just let them do it, it'll be over soon. But we have trained him well. Like every time he has his claws cut, he gets a little treat. So he goes, okay, I don't like this, but if I sit through it, I'll get a treat at the end. Needed more than anticipated since he kept being angry. When he got the first shot, he got so angry my mother said it was almost demonic. Not the fearful panic aggression, you see, it's the enjoyment of the kill. Oh dear. It's a good job he's trained then. It does show though, so even with a dog with that much aggression, the right kind of handling. can be a good dog. He's like this because he's bred for the sport, not for family dog. Yeah, that's fair. That's what it is. The sport is to be basically a four-legged torpedo. There's a hunking muscle missile. Even with the breed and in sport bloodline, he's very, very secure of himself and dominant. Yeah. That's good. So at this point here, but that does create the assholes, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to have confidence and dominance without arsehole coming through. Those three traits tend to mix. Let's say you visit me tomorrow and my father is working. I wouldn't let him near you. I have no control over him. Donya would allow you to pet and stuff. Okay. Yeah, so if he takes his cues from your father and so okay, like I trust this human to give me direction. Otherwise, I am free to do what I want. But the same breed. I can carry Donya. Uno is only slightly heavier in kilograms, but I can't even push him. It's like pushing a brick wall. I suppose he kind of just locks his muscles, I suppose. He's like, if he doesn't want to move, he doesn't move. It's all there. It's just kind of, it's the same with people, I suppose. Like, a person has to want to be moved to move, but you can lock yourself up in such a way that you feel heavier and harder to move. Do have a day. I do have to say Uno hates strangers, but he has been so sweet to me in the past couple of days. Oh, that's good to know. Dogs do understand. They see people with troubles and they understand to be gentle. Cats on the other hand, cats can see you got struggles and will still be assholes. They do try, but they're still assholes. Tries playing with me, but then way softer than usual. Oh. Lady who lost her cat today, also at some point he decided you irritate me, and I was standing in between them. He was demonic on the eyes only. Just gets temporarily possessed, I suppose. Donya also sweet. She does try steal my walker boot. This is my boots now. Yes. Speaking of him, I'm going to check up him. Oh, right. Okay. Be right back. Sure thing. It was high on drugs or... Yeah, I don't know how a high rock rider is going to behave. Yo, hey Robert, how's it going? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Welcome into the stream. Yeah, just trying to make this golem have a convincing walk. We're kind of getting there. Let's see. How long do the animations take if you start with a model and need a new action for the character? I suppose it's you're making a monster from scratch. Oh, nice. It depends on the how complex. I was thankfully taught a couple of streams ago about these type of bones. What they call again? I completely forgot the name of them. It'll be my my listing. Are they kinetic? Kinetic, can't remember the name. They're kind of kinetic bones. So you kind of end up putting constraints, which means like, because I've set these bones up to have a certain motion, animating them has become so much easier because they behave in a certain way. So I only need to move this bone here as a handle, and the whole leg moves like a leg naturally would move. So setting these up has been useful for me. Monster has a few non-standard animations I'm going to need. Even if I start with a pre-made animation, I'm going to have to animate the model. I'm going to use the IK rig. Tentacle monster. Ah, yeah, that'd be perfect for that kind of stuff. Yeah, like I'd say you're looking at, if you're pretty confident with it, I'd say about an hour to 2 hours per animation, depending again if it's the whole model or just the parts. It's taken me just to get the walking animation, it's taken me probably 2 hours already. But then most of that was working out how to get these IK bones set up, and then kind of playing with it a little bit to see how I want it to animate and how it would look, and then actually setting out the right kind of keyframes. My monster is going to reach for the player with its tentacles as a jump scare. Ooh, that sounds quite interesting. So it's kind of like going to be just kind of reaching out towards them. I suppose the key thing in that way is to kind of imagine the movement, especially if you got the IK bones set up. just end up moving the keyboard in that right kind of direction and then just tweak it from there. Yeah, tentacles would be fun to try and animate. So I've got some monsters like that will have tails, so such as dragons and snakes. Snake would be interesting to animate. More like a quick snap of the tentacles and then retracting back in, not like a kind of snap towards them, like choo, choo. Okay. Yeah, so that's oh, it's back. Welcome, Lisa. Welcome back, Lisa. Yeah, that's gonna be fun to actually animate. Yeah, so far this one I have animated it kind of an idle animations where it's just kind of, well, scanning animation I suppose, where it's just kind of like looking around and sort of just casual movement while standing still. I've also done a full idle animation where it just kind of folds into a pile of rocks, and then kind of, if you reverse the animation, it kind of unfolds itself up into a standing position. And now I'm working on the walking. I've also got a arm swing, kind of swings at the player with both arms. So doing walking now, and after walking, I'm going to do a ground slam kind of animation with probably like a 2-fist slam. So once I've done that, I think that will cover me. Like a chameleon tongue. Oh, okay. Uno is still high. As long as he's comfortable. What am I looking at? So, just want to make sure I've got the numbers right on this one. Swelling of my boot is almost, swelling my foot is almost gone, but the spot with the broken bone is almost black. Pain is less bad than yesterday, so that's good. That's good to know. Yeah, it's good that the swelling has come down. It means your body is not in as much of a kind of a panic, I suppose. So no, swelling typically is like, quick, let's throw all the blood at it. We need to fix this now. I suppose they've set it in the right kind of position, so the bone can heal in the correct area. Then I suppose that will help the foot feel a bit more comfortable. Unai now match. He also has something around his leg. All right. 0.5, 0.8, so that needs to be a 0.8, not 0.7. It's minus point, just to make a match. I could do a copy and flip, but let's do this. So that's 30. 45. $60. 75. Becomes 90. 105. Yeah, I'm still pretty amateur at a Blender. 35. Becomes 65. And it's 395. And 25. Cool. Select the whole rig. It kind of looks like it's walking. Do need to start off the animation of that shoulder already kind of moving slightly, because the leg's already moving there. So the default position for that shoulder should be forward, because I'm going to be importing this model into Unity, and Unity has animation blending, which I'm sure other engines do as well. So the fact it's midway into the animation when it starts isn't an issue, because it should transition naturally into that. So that should be the same as this one, which is 0.5 minus 0.8 minus 15. Minus 0.8 minus 15. Okay, all I think that's left for it to do is have a slight bob up and down as it's moving. Again, I could get away with it looking like this, depending how kind of basic I want the animation. But I would personally like it to bob slightly. So for a bit of a bob, I suppose it's really going to be that one there. Oops. Where's the best place for it to bob from? Let's do our side way there. It needs to bob just as the legs are they're split there. So there and there. So every other one needs to bob and come back. Listen to any of my old stuff? I have not. I was thinking of listening today, but I've had so many calls today. Well, I might, if I remember, I'll try and listen to some in the car tomorrow. Because I've got the Bandcamp app. It's terrible. You need to listen to it. Yeah, I'll load up Bandcamp on my car. Tell me which one's most terrible. So, should I give you a score out of -10? Yes. Right, so I think it's got to be every 15 again. So that needs to be static, bob, down, back up, down, up, down. So I established the 2 positions then, so 15's so far down, and 30 would be the all the way up. Okay, so that means now 15 there. I forgot it does that. That's why I didn't do it before. The whole thing kind of now crouches. But we can still work with this. We'll do this and see how it looks. It should really just be the Z that's moving, not the Y. Okay, makes for an interesting we had something that was kind of like leaping. Okay, let's give this a go then. Copy this a few times, see if it works. So 45 semi 75 105 135 165 195 125 I think the shoulders are swinging too often, aren't they? Okay, need to fix the shoulders. need to move these stretched out a bit more. Double up the spacing between movements. Should half the speed as the maths go, of course. Now I'll remove the excess. Yeah, that seems to work nicely. Slide the mess rig. Yeah, it's quite a nice looking walking animation, if I do say so myself. There's not too many points there to actually animate. So the shoulders are only moving every 30 frames. So the shoulders are moving every 30 frames. Well, they have a coordinate keyframe every 30 frames. The shin bones are being pulled every 15 frames, which kind of encourages a fairly natural leg movement by pulling the shins. And then the spine is bobbing up and down every 15 frames to go with that. So for a fairly convincing looking walk, there's not a lot going on down here in the action editor down here. pretty happy with that, so I'm gonna save that. We can make the last animation that I wanted to do, which is the double hand kind of ground slam attack. And then I'll try importing this into a blank Unity project and see how the model works and how the animation looks. And basically see if it all works. There's still a little bit of like texturing I want to do, maybe a little bit of modeling for the actual head. So there needs to be some kind of indication that it has the ability to see. So whether it's just like a Cyclops thing where it's just got like a single piece across the center that indicates its ability to have vision. But in my head it's kind of like a sentinel, like the Cyclops sentinels in different comics and stuff. So maybe that'll work. But the main thing is I wanted to make sure I could confidently animate it. The rest of it is kind of just aesthetics at that point. So now we've saved that, I will make a new file. I'm going to save as. Because I've every time I've made an animation, I've created a new file just to be on the safe side. Because I have screwed up a previous model when I've tried to do multiple animations. So far I think this one's been okay, because we got all of our animations here. This one was probably the most complex of the animations, because I had so many different movements going on. But I could have probably made this easier by doing the kind of kinetic bone method. But this one is all very manually edited. Oh, excuse me. Now the only thing with this animation has kind of screwed up a little bit. So the legs aren't working like they were before, because now I put the kinetic bones in, so I'm going to have to redo this animation now. So I'm effectively going to have to just delete the leg part of it. Yeah, should we do that now before we move on? So we do that. So I know roughly what it was before. So we can delete these and start again. You know, it should be a bit easier. What I'll do a quick screen capture of how these keyframes look. And I can use this as a reference then. Should we do this? It'll be easier to capture that. Right, once more. There we go. Looks better now. Cool. Leg animations is now gone. Reset those back to the beginning. It's leaning forward slightly. Okay, I'll do that as a starting point. So now the crouch actually happens naturally. I had to manually animate the crouch before. Just look at it, rolls onto his toes, so that's the only problem. So that foot needs to kind of come out. So when it gets to frame 80, then they can come back again. That's effectively 0, 0, 0. Okay, that looks better. That's a lot easier on that part. Because when it gets to this twist here, you can see the leg starts to move slightly. So re-grab all of those bones there. You can see it's actually pulling that bone right out at this point. So the pelvis, the right part of the pelvis, is supposed to pull the leg with it. The leg is staying static because of the shin constraints. So we need to get the leg to move with it now. So if I go to this point here, go into edit mode actually. I wonder, can we parent that? So parent is to the spine, which is that one. Suppose we parent it to there. Pelvis R. We'll do the same on that one. I made up pelvis left. And go back to pose mode. Cool. Okay, so we just need to make sure when it gets to this point here, what we're actually doing then is lifting let's go sideways viewer. So at this point here, that's this shin needs to be reset again. Or at least the same as the wire one is. Okay, that's kind of what I would like to have in this, the middle there, is it to lift. Have it lift the leg rather than kind of drag it. What I will have as well is make sure I copy that into strangely that's on 183. Don't want to put it on 183, but there you go. And then paste that in there. Okay, so it drags it there and drags it back. So just in the middle here now. Probably need to lift it sooner rather than later, so maybe even there. Bring that knee up there. It's a bit of a sharp movement, so that's to there maybe. That's closer. Still very much of stomp. I think what I need to do here actually is probably just twist the foot slightly there. And zero those out. Yeah, maybe not then. Those ones seem to be zeroed. That kind of definite stomp there. Don't like the way it goes down very quickly there. I almost want the shin to probably even move the shin movement back a little. Is that just those frames there? Hey, Perfect Dev, how's it going? You're up. It's good to see you. Is that sun straightening of the leg I don't like? It's happening around here. Within a frame, it snaps. Maybe I need to copy that and paste it there. It lifts the leg up, keeps it up. The snap happens there now. Maybe I need to change the curve on that slightly. I'm a dog walk alone. Be right back, okie dokie. It's a good walk. I think it's almost because it's sprayed out to the side there, isn't it? Do that. You just grab the ship. Bring this in. Copy that, paste it over here. Lift this leg up, brings it around. Puts it down there. Then as the leg's bringing across this way, you need him to bring it back up again. About there. Move that out a little bit more. Yes, delete that one. Yeah, I think that's okay. That's pretty much what the animation was before. Just with this lots of keyframes now. So we shall give that another save. Let's see how this works now. I've got those bones in place. Okay, so that's unaffected. That's cool. Assemble. Now this could be tricky. Oh, by the way, job is 100% official, start Monday. Yay, awesome. Congratulations. Happy to hear that, Lisa. So they're okay with you working in your reduced moving state? I'm not mad the way this is looking. I just don't like the rapid spin there. Yeah, that's awesome. Most importantly, it's for 16 hours a week. If I want more, it's okay. Maybe keep it 16 at least for the first week. Might be good. Oh yeah, a nice easy kind of introduction to it, I suppose. I can take tiny steps, by the way, with the walker boot on. Without, of course, can't do much. Okay, that's good at least. So you can move around. Yeah, as long as they have the means for you to work with that. It helps, so hopefully I can walk again by the end of the week. Wow. That'd be pretty cool. Not big walks, but good enough. Yeah, but as long as you can do the things you need to do. At least the small things. And you still have people to help you do big things. I'm not good at being sick and helpless. Yeah. I can pick up on that. You're a strong woman. All of you need to know that you are still strong, even if your foot is injured. I'm wondering whether I can preempt the spinning legs. So legs spin there on frame 60. So I wonder whether I can get the legs to start spinning sooner. And possibly in the same direction, but counter to each other. So I think that'd be quite cool. We can work with that. Like if I were to... That's the spine doing that. So when have I put in something here to make the legs spin? So the legs need to be facing the opposite direction to... I wonder if I can get them individually to spin. If I do... Just -1, so that goes 0, 0, and that's now backwards leg. So I then set that 0 and that -1. So nothing's spinning now, but what I need to do is actually set these two back to how they were. So that should be a 1 and that should be a 0. Hey MHL, hello Blender Junkie, doing more exercise today, yes. We were tweaking our previous animations. Because since putting the inverse kinetic bones it's kind of broken the animations that I did prior to putting those bones in. So yeah, so we got some problems now. Nice, yeah. So that should be a 1. That should be a 0, just to give it its default stance. I mean, I was doing exercise, but both are good. Oh, doing more exercise today. But you're doing the exercise. Yeah, I thought you meant the golem. Golem's definitely exercising. Yeah, exercise is good. Yeah, I need to do more exercise. Like, I've been so out of practice. Like, my muscles can cope. Like, I've got decent muscles. My joints need more training than my muscles do. I'm going to a music festival next week, and there's going to be a lot of walking, and a lot of heavy lifting. So that's going to be a lot of exercise there, but I should have been prepared for it. I should have been exercising all year, and then when it came to festival season, I'd just be feeling hench. I want to exercise. Walking with crutches is hard though. Do stretches. Yes. Yeah, I need to do stretches. Yeah, so I've never had to walk with a crutch. But yeah, I know how hard it's would be. It really helps. Yeah, I need to stretch more. But I did intend to do yoga about 6 or 7 years ago, and I keep intending to do yoga because yoga is very good to kind of stretch out and tone your balance and your small core muscles that kind of hold everything together. I even bought a nice yoga mat. It's still in its packaging. But yeah, but I did start doing yoga a few years ago, and that kind of helped. But I just didn't keep up with it. But once I'm back from Download Festival, I will. Once I've recovered, I'll try and do a weekly session. Just do 20-30 minutes a day. Yeah, even 10 would be something. I know typically they recommend 10 minutes of exercise per day. So like any kind of training for 20 minutes kind of helps the body. Anything less than 20 minutes isn't as efficient, but anything is better than nothing, as you say. Enough time intense now. And it's been on the news actually. Saw it on the news program earlier. They're recommending 2 hours of exercise per week. So if you spread your 2 hours over a week, which will that be? Roughly just under 20 minutes a day. So probably 15 minutes a day. Can't do the maths. No, just over 20 minutes a day. Or you do 20 minutes for 6 days, and then you don't do anything on the 7th day. So yeah, 2 hours, about 2 hours exercise total per week is what they recommend minimum. Try and get Britain healthy again. But yeah, doing something is better than nothing. Getting started is, yeah, it's definitely the hardest part. Getting started at anything. Like once you've got a routine going, then you go, cool, I just continue doing this. Twisty, 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 twisty. Yeah, that works. So I definitely need to twist the leg prior to folding. But yeah, I find with anything like, well, getting started is the hardest part. Keeping at it for at least a couple of weeks is the next hardest part. But then once you pass those 2 weeks, you're pretty much on it. And also, if you don't know where to start, there's lots of beginner option on YouTube. Yeah, there's for yoga, I was recommended a YouTuber called Adriene, or Yoga with Adriene. And she has a lot of videos. And she does a new series every year. She still does it. If not, you can just go back to previous years. And that's the one I started watching when I was doing yoga. Just kind of following along with her videos, putting that on the screen, and just kind of, yeah, trying to follow along. And the first couple of videos in her series, easy. I was sort of able to kind of get on with it, and it's like, okay, now we're doing this, and and it was so difficult. And it felt like it was like starting off very slow and then a little bit higher, and then whoosh, the curve just suddenly shot up. But maybe I should just do the first couple of videos multiple times over and then move on to like the next ones. Honestly, I recommend staying with the easy vids for at least a month. Yeah, I can get on that. Yeah, I should do that. Because I was doing it as part of a group, so we were all kind of watching the same video every week, individually kind of thing. And I thought, oh, I'm going to lag behind if I don't try and keep up. And then after doing a couple of the harder ones, I just fell behind so much. So they get more flexible and gain strength. Yeah, I need to do that. Like, I feel myself kind of stiffening up, especially on the upper body. Like the movements of like twisting and shoulders. Like Nix would attest that I am pretty much rock solid from my neck down to my lower back. And you could probably break most materials across this muscle. So just even twisting. Yeah. Right, if you've got a solid piece of wood, you could probably smack me across the back and the wood would break before my muscles relax. So I do need to stretch. I need to kind of ease these off. Oh my god, yeah. Poor Jeffrey and Donya, by the way. It's raining hard. Oh no. Oh, it's been terrible today. Not it's been worse, but today's been bright sunshine and then lots of rain and sunshine and lots of rain, and just got these waves of bad weather coming across the UK, which I'm assuming is continuing over to the Netherlands. Not nice, but I'm hoping this is the rain for the next couple of weeks. Once we've had the rain gone, and the rain will stay away for a week. Yeah, ease it off. If stretches, yeah, ease it off. If stretches hurt, you're doing it wrong. It should relieve. Of course, you should feel stretch. Don't push too hard. Yeah, now, a good stretch does feel good. Well, I've done like the leg stretching where, yeah, you just very slowly kind of put extra pressure on until it's just as it starts to get painful, then you pull back a little bit and you just kind of hold it. And just hold it just above where it starts to hurt. And then sort of ease that off and then do the other leg. But it's just taking the time to, you know, make 10-20 minutes free just to do that. I'm usually doing one thing and then straight on to the next thing. I don't stop. I should stop, and I can stop, but, well, I could stop. But very much like trying to start something, trying to stop myself to start something. It's not as easy. I'm constantly wanting to do other things apart from beneficial stuff. So that one's twisty. This one needs to be twisty. That twists out. So we wanted to do counterclockwise, really. -1. As cool as that synced, I don't want it to be doing it. Maybe I do. -10. Jeffrey's going to shower after this hard rain, so he's okie dokie. Yeah, even though you're wet, I know it's not as the same kind of wet. Go change in pajamas, so I'll also be right back. Okie dokie. See you both shortly. 0.5 for that. And 0.5 for that, and a 0 and a 0. Yeah. Okay, that didn't quite work out as I intended, so it gets to there. And that is a complete spin. It's minus. So that's fine. So that's going. There's got to be a minus. Minus 0.5. So confused with how that's working. Let's have a look how this one works. So from there it starts off at 1 and 0. That descends down from 1 down to 0, and that's from 0 down to -1. Let's delete so that should be minus, and that should be 5. So we set it as it is, so 0.5, and that would be about minus 0.5. If we go delete that, I get that, go copy pose, go this one and paste flipped. Copy pose. Let's set this one so 0.5 minus 0.5. Okay, so that's 0 minus 1. It becomes 0 minus 1. That's 0 minus 1. So I would set that to minus. Okay, let's do it this way. So halfway between. It should naturally be 0.5 and minus 0.5. Which is same as that. It's fine. If I were to make this minus 0.5, faces either way. But that still insists on spinning all the way around. That spins almost to that point there. Leave that keyframe there. So I made that -1. Is that it then? Did I do it? I think I did it, you know. Means I don't actually need that one in there either. Cool. Let's hide the meta rig. Cool. Right. So what I'm going to do is, rather than having it spin so rapidly, I can select the whole rig. I think our music has just finished. Let's go for that one. So there is our down here. So probably about 50. Maybe 55. It's quite a slow, gradual spin. When the spins are kind of finished just as the body's coming down. Let's see it from this side. So it spins around. Yeah, I think that's about right there, to be safe. That kind of works with it as well, the fact it's bending the knees to come up. Realistically, the knee bends better that way, but it doesn't actually have any joints. It's a bunch of rocks imbued with magic to make it into a singular being. So it would look like a pile of rocks like this. And as it comes alive, that kind of lifts up. Legs spin around, it becomes upright. It does end up clipping through itself slightly. I would like to have it not clip. Because the cool thing is I have got the arm separating slightly. See, it separates from the shoulder there. So that's fine there. Whether I have the shoulder itself move up, so maybe I select the shoulder pieces here. Let's go from the Z view here. Maybe like that. Still a little bit of clipping there. But yeah, not so much clipping on that side now, but I suspect it clips down here. I could do those hands being a little bit further down. Maybe then if I reassembling back up to there. Oh, he's back. Welcome back, matey. Ooh, lovely. I'm not going to walk with tea, but I've made tea. Awesome. Now Jeffrey can bring the tea. So you've done the hard part. All he has to do is bring it to you now. It's just an unsuspecting pile of rocks. Zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. I'm back. Welcome back. I was all nude and wet just now. Yeah, I heard you had a shower, both outside and inside. It was an insane rainstorm, wanted it off me. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so it's been raining on and off here today, but nothing too crazy. Rainwater doesn't feel nice in my hair, makes it fat. It's kind of like it's all greasy. Ugh, yeah. Where's greasy and fat the same way? Okay. Cool. Yeah, when my hair gets wet, it smells like a dog. Like all the greasiness kind of comes through. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that animation now. I've tweaked it to work with the legs. What do we do with that? That core rock there, sitting a bit lower. I wonder if I can get away with doing that without it breaking. Is that the one there? Yes, sir. Yeah, hair. Rain also ruins my hair. Yeah, it's not nice. I wonder if I can actually rotate those down a bit more. Hello, how's it going? FD Skiddy? Good to see you, hope you're having a good day. Want to see Uno waiting at the vet? You can see his normal chain and special choker where my father can hold him for a bit more leverage. Yeah, send one over. Let's make sure there's no clipping. I can get rid of that screenshot now because I've completely fixed that. Oh, that's a chunk. Yeah, it's almost like a restraining collar, I suppose, isn't it? It's making sure you've got full control of him. There might be a slight clipping there. But ultimately, you're not going to see too much detail, but I'd like to try and avoid as much clipping as possible. Maybe if I halfway through this, I kind of bring the arms out a bit more to avoid this clipping just here. Because yeah, that's full on clipping now. It's fine when it gets to about it isn't fine there at all. So I almost need to have a bit about there. I'm trying to find which bone's which now. I'll also show 2 recent pics from the backyard. Ooh, okay. He looks a happy doggo. It's very good photos as well. Probably about there. No. You look so small in that photo. Thinking maybe the arms need to fall forward slightly rather than out and swinging in. So let's delete that frame. He's not small though. No. Just that angle makes him look small. Maybe about there. We do something like that. So there's that. His arm comes up and then falls. How does that look? Still looks like it's got a clip about there though. Let's move these down. It's a little bit more there. It's because that sticks out so much there. But almost when it gets to there, it's almost it kind of feels like it's sliding over the rock at that point. But I don't feel it's quite as bad. Definitely have the arms up, I say. Because it's almost like he's falling backwards there. Uno is bigger than me and I am very tall. Yeah, he's a big massive dog. From what I've seen the photos of him wanting to eat some of your food. Yeah, I kind of like the fact the arms go up like that. Because it's almost like the arms are already in position by this point, and they just kind of fall off to land there. So keep in mind, this animation is going to be when the player defeats the golem. And so that final blow on it goes boom. It throws its arms up and just kind of twists and falls down into this pile of rocks. But equally, the same animation will be used when the golem is resting as a pile of rocks, and it can kind of like reform itself and then sort of go straight into the scanning animation where it's looking around and go, right, who's around, who disturbed me, what's going on. So this animation forward and backwards will be used. Yeah, I do like how the fact the arms kind of like lie up and then attach onto the shoulders, and the legs kind of twist around. It's kind of like ready to go. But then it works this way as well. That as it's been defeated, it kind of throws its arms up and then just falls. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. What are we doing for time? It's 20 past 10. Let's check, see if I've missed anything. Nothing major there. Okay, phone's being weird. I won't actually update once I've read anything. Probably needs charging. Or it could just be messages. I think I've probably got another few minutes to work with this, so I can start a new animation and do the last one I want to do, which is like the ground slam. Okay, plugged the phone in, it's died anyway. Not a problem. So, as this is saved, I think the closest thing to what I want to do is probably not the scanning one, maybe the attack. We make this into attack 2. Could we play this? Kind of crouches down. So we can copy this action, and rather than the arms moving, we can delete the arms and just get kind of throw them down to attack. So let's create a new action and call this attack 2. Now we should have attack 1 and attack 2. Probably should just delete all this, shouldn't we? So we got upper arm, forearm, our hand, head. Yeah, let's at least delete these ones. Ah, no, not quite. You want the spine to still do stuff. So not the spine, but the everything below. Forearm, heads, hands. Yes, those ones. So it means the animation still does that. So doing the twisty bit. Spine 2. That seems to be a twisty bit there, yeah. So there doesn't need to be any twisting going on, so let's move those two. So it kind of crouches down and back up again. So is there anything, what's happening here then? So I have spine 1, which is that one. Oh yeah, that's bending to bend down. So spine 01 helps the bending process there. Okay. That one has nothing now. That's bending as well. But that's moving up and down. So spine 1 is moving up and down, spine 2 is bending. Okay. Possibly at this point here. So just before he kind of crouches. So I suppose I want the whole crouch thing to happen at the same time as the slam. So we can adjust these keyframes. Let's select the whole model. So at the moment it's the crouch happens on frame 20. And it stays till frame 60. So let's see a bit more of it as one go. So we ideally want to move probably to 40. Because you've got to lift his arms first, and it's got to be a rapid sort of down, so possibly even then at 30 we want to copy these ones. And paste there. So when DJ again, I was hoping to do DJ very soon. Because I've been itching to DJ. What I need to do is probably, well, I still need to kind of organise my music. The main thing that's stopping me is being able to just see the music I want to DJ with and just have it available to me. So I need to kind of go through all my MP3s, like vinyl. I can still vinyl DJ, not a problem. When I do the MP3s, I need to be able to quickly access the songs I want, or at least if I don't know what I want to play next, scan through categorized music and go, anything here could work, but I'll pick this one specifically. If that makes sense. Just having groups of songs that would roughly work together in a set. And it's just up to me how I play them. If it's lockdown stuff with rock, alternative, punk, it doesn't really matter. That's all lumped together anyway. It's all the dance stuff that I need to sort out. But it's the dance stuff that's the most fun to DJ. Because you kind of keep an energy and a vibe going when you're mixing stuff together. But possibly after download, I will look at. I need to sort my music soon anyway, because I'm likely going to be DJing again away from home. So I'm going to need to sort that anyway. So the sooner I do that, the better. So I'd say probably end of June. Try and DJ at the end of June. I'll throw a DJ stream in. Because yeah, I've been wanting to. It's been a couple of years now. Let's just kind of play that to see how it... But I do miss it. But I miss it now. For a while I didn't miss it because like I was kind of dreading DJing for a while because it takes a lot of energy and my music was a mess and I didn't know where to find stuff, and I was just playing the same songs because I knew where they were. But yeah, I'd like to be able to just easily access the music I need. Yeah, as soon as my DJ start doing DJ streams again, I'll open up the request channels in my Discord. I like to make requesting music easier, rather than me having to watch the chat and then trying to copy paste out of the chat to find the songs. So having the Discord request means only people that are in my Discord can request songs. And I'm not dealing with people coming in randomly and throwing songs at me. Then I can write a Discord bot that will then give me a playlist very easily then. So I did have a Discord bot that I wrote. I've not done anything with it for a long time. Don't even know if the code will still work. Depends if Discord's changed much since then. Oh, that's almost what I want, actually. Obviously, I think it needs to be leant over a little bit more. And as it slams down, it needs to hold for a moment, and then as it gets up, then bring the arms back in. But this is generally my approach to animation. It's kind of like get the movements in there and then tweak where the movement actually happens. Because frame 90 is the completion of the animation there. I need to sort out these bits as well. don't know what's with all the these lines. All the bones seem to be pointing to the same thing here. Inverse kinematics. Yeah, as soon as I'm DJing again, I would love to get some new tunes playing. I wonder if it's the model, not the actual Go back to edit mode. Turn off the meta rig. It disappears with the meta rig. What does it? Object mode. Oops, phone switching back on. So I can do that, and that stays part of the meta rig. I don't understand. I might have to Google what those lines are. Anyway. So that's the full crouch there, isn't it? So frame 40 at full crouch. So I'm wondering if I need to bring that down a bit more. And also it'll be twisty, but not after twisting. Up bone there, I want really. Copy that. Okay, yeah, I suppose you wanted to kind of put these slam down and ease up there. Ooh, I like that. Just need to get the back. Can you get a bit of rotation on there as well? I'll rotate the whole model though. Now we can do. Probably about there. Oh, that's pretty close to what I want. Let's deselect and play. Nice, yeah. Slightly a little bit janky on the standing up. So I'm gonna have to smooth that out, but let's be fair, it's not that bad on the standing up. Probably needs to hold that position, so once it's slammed, hold, and then slowly bring itself up. Because the whole point is going to be a little bit vulnerable after it does this. So if the player dodges the slam, they can then come in for an attack. Let's have a quick look how it looks from the front without the necessary. I'll probably bring the arms together slightly. We'll do that as well. So as it does that, probably as it gets to frame 30, it brings the arms up together, and then slam happens on frame 40. So probably frame 30. Let's have these coming together here. That arm doesn't go back naturally by itself, so I need to fix that. So it completes by frame 90, doesn't it? I need to copy that keyframe, put it in there. What's the other thing I was thinking of? Oh yeah, it needs to draw out. So once it slams, probably get a little bit of movement like that. Slam. Now how would it? Probably hold it about there. So just as the arms come up. Hold, probably like lift its head and then stand up. Slam happens at 40, then starts to move this way. You kind of want to hold where that is for a moment. So if I do insert keyframes, location, rotation, obviously it doesn't change anything here, but I can then copy I can probably delete the frames that aren't actually being used. So those ones there. Those ones there. And those ones. Cool. Okay. So we're not doing anything that's not putting frames in that we don't need. What we'll do now is grab those ones. Actually, there's nothing else going in, so we don't need those two frames either. Just want to avoid moving frames that aren't doing anything. So we've got frames there, frame there. That shoulder. Shoulder item was deleted by accident. Yeah, shoulder right, scrub that. Insert keyframe there. And then cool. Now grab these frames. Copy them. We'll stick them at there for now. We can always move them. So basically goes boom, slams, holds, and then up. Ooh, that's still quite a short time. could move the entire thing. To there. Let's move it over another 10 frames. Slam, wait for 30 frames, then back up. And in the meantime, just to show that it's not frozen, it's frame 70, it starts moving. Let's just do the head. So keyframe. Okay. Frame 40 is a slam. Do another insert keyframe there. And probably at 50, you want to have the head lifting up. Those slams, looks up, slam, the head comes up too quickly there. Let's move up to 60. Ah, that looks good. This sounds dubsteppy, but it's not mine. Why you betray me? Yeah, it's called Strings and Death Metal. Probably move that to 65. Yeah, I like that. Oh, sad face. I'm going to wrap the stream up shortly because I've just completed this animation. I'm quite happy with it. That's quite a natural movement, but oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Might still be a little bit too quick in places. I don't know whether I can slow it down a little bit, like kind of draw out the animation a little bit to give the player a little bit more time to avoid it. So maybe the arms come up a little bit slower. The slam speed I'm happy with because it needs to be impactful. But yeah, so maybe the arms come up a little bit slower, slams down, and then stand back up is a little bit. But we can finish that. We can't finish it next week because I'm not here next week. Well, I'm not here Wednesday, Friday. I'll be here Monday. but we can look at finishing it next time, or I could finish it off stream and I'll post the results. But bulk of it is done. Quite happy with that. So I am going to save that. Do another save as, just to be on the safe side. Once I'm all happy with this, I'll delete all my previous copies. But don't want to overwrite something and go, ah, I broke it. Go to my full camera. And yeah, cool. Thank you all for being here. That's been 3 hours stream, nice. Yeah, it's been an awesome stream. We finished the walking animation. We fixed the previous ones. Thank you for the stream, Epic, as always. Thank you for being here. But yeah, we fixed the other animations and we made our final one for this. Let's think of some more. So I'll tidy up a little bit, get it better, and then I'll throw it into Unity. We can see and play with the girl on them. Goodbye, Jeffrey. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Perfect Dev. Thank you, Robert, for stopping in. Thank you, Michelle, FT Skiddy, and everyone who's lurking. I can see you all in the chat. You're all awesome. Have a good night. Great rest of your week. Thank you, Lisa. Maybe you too. I'll be back on Friday. We'll be doing some Unity stuff on Friday. And then we'll be back on Monday, and you won't see me for a week after that. So until then, hope you have a good week. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Have a good night, and I'll see you then. Night all.